Hi, James here from Adventure Bike Rider and welcome to the launch of the Suzuki GSX-S1000GT. Now, if I was given any choice of bike to ride on a 2-day tour of Scotland, I guarantee you I'd choose an adventure bike. Something like a KTM 1290 Super Adventure or perhaps a Ducati Multistrada V4. However, in the 1000GT, Suzuki is offering us something different. It's a traditional sports tourer for people who want the characteristics of a sports bike, but also the comfort of a touring machine. Now, they've stressed it's for people who want to go away for a few days or maybe a week in Europe with a pillion and luggage, as well as for people who want to get their knee down. Now, to find out if they've managed to achieve this, over the next 2 days, I'll be riding from here, which is in Nairn, near Inverness in Scotland, across country on some of the best roads the area has to offer. I'll be overnighting in Fort William and then looping back again on some brilliant roads to find out exactly what this bike offers. Let's get going. We soon left the busy roads around Inverness behind and headed west through a landscape of forests and lochs with distant mountains getting ever closer. The views were majestic and the smooth rhythm of the road unfurling in front of us was even better. And it didn't take me long to realise that the 999cc 4-cylinder engine powering the GSX-S1000GT is an absolute peach. In fact, I'd go as far as saying it's one of the most pleasurable engines I've ever ridden. Any vibrations coming through the pegs and handlebars were barely perceptible, resulting in an effortless ride that can't help but reduce rider fatigue over long distances. But while the Suzuki may have the refined manners of a Royal Palace footman, it certainly isn't short on grunt. The bike tops out at 150 brake horsepower at 11,000 RPM, but there's power available absolutely everywhere. Each time we came across a straight section of road, I'd give the throttle a generous tug and snick up the seamless quick shifter. Then, as yet another sweeping bend approached, I'd give the smooth and progressive twin-disc Brembo brakes a squeeze before carrying as much of that speed through the turn as possible. The bike held a line beautifully, its handling proving light and precise, which gave me the confidence to get on the power nice and early out of each turn. Aiding in this endeavour was the bike's 5-stage traction control and Suzuki's intelligent ride system that gives you a choice of 3 rider modes called A, B and C, which equates to Sport, Tour and Rain. A mode, as you might expect, provided the sharpest throttle response, while B was smoother but still provided a satisfying burst of acceleration. C mode dulled the whole experience, reducing the amount of power sent to the back wheel. Overall, the bike was a joy to ride. It cantered along merrily between 60 and 70 miles an hour, the KYB upside down forks and single rear shock providing a ride almost as smooth as the engine. And while the bike has no electronically controlled suspension or onboard computer feeding a cornering ABS system, it never felt like it needed it. So, with cruise control switched on, which comes as standard, and the bike's large screen and aerodynamic bodywork directing wind blast away from my chest and head, I was revelling in a thoroughly relaxing, stress-free jaunt through Scotland. So, after riding this bike for 2 days across Scotland, through stunning landscapes and along some of the best roads the country has to offer, what's it been like to ride? Well, I come at the 1000GT, working for an adventure bike rider, more from a touring perspective than the sporty side of things. And with this in mind, I have been incredibly impressed. Yeah, there's plenty of punch there to go fast, but it's also silky smooth and there is power absolutely everywhere, no matter what gear you're in. I don't think I've changed gear so little on a bike ever. Now combine this with a lack of vibration, predictable handling, an incredibly comfy seat, and a screen which may not look particularly large, but does a great job of getting wind and rain off you. and you've got the ingredients for a really fun, engaging and comfortable touring bike. It's not the usual sort of bike I would ride, I'm going to put it out there, but I love to tour. So anything that's been designed to travel long distances, I'm always curious to give a go, and I have been hugely impressed. Now, has it done enough to convince me to chop in my adventure bike for a sports tourer? I'll be honest with you, I'm sorely tempted.